Howdy folks, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Legends Masters Series last weekend of qualifiers. Still Justin Larson, still happy to be here. A little less happy that Charmer's sitting next to me.
That's right, I am still the anchor to this clown fiesta. So,
oh man, what a great tournament we've had so far today.
Absolutely fantastic tournament so far today. Overall in general, every week has been great.
I agree.
Full of surprises. Every time I think, hey, there's no way we can top it, we proceed to do just that.
Absolutely.
And in that vein, I need to talk about robots.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have Shinestorm here playing for a spot in the top 2 with Dwemer. Okay, this has been a meme in Elder Scrolls Legends for years. The Dwemer decks. I mean, you play the Dwemer decks for laughs, for fun. I once dressed up like a robot and played Dwemer on on Twitch for like 2 hours. And Shinestorm might be making Legends history with Assassin Dwemer.
Yeah. Special thanks to Traitor-Joe for not banning the Assassin list, which means we get to see it.
Shout out to Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah. Traitor-Joe, I think rightfully banning Scout. You and I have always talked about if it's an option, you should probably ban it.
Right.
Shinestorm bans House Telvanni. When a player has Telvanni and Scout, you got to pick your poison there.
Absolutely.
I think both quality bans by both players.
I totally agree. And this means we get to see both players playing decks that we've seen them perform very impressively with. Shinestorm's Assassin, Tribunal, his Chanter Tribunal list, right? These are going to be really interesting decks to watch against Joe, who is a top-notch player playing some of the most powerful decks in the game in the form of the aggressive lists and the control list that he brought today.
Yeah, Joe has a good mix in his lineup. I like being able to pivot from those combo-y control uprising decks to aggressive stuff like his signature mid-grow list. What do you do if your opponent brings the robots, right? Like if Shinestorm is going to lead off with Dwemer like he did the last series, what do you play if you're Joe? I
mean, which one of my decks has the most support removal, right? Because you don't need Halls of the Dwemer to win.
But it helps.
Oh man, it helps a lot.
as we saw in the last series, it helps a lot.
All right, well, let's hop in. And it looks like we have Halls of the Dwemer in the opening hand for Shinestorm.
With the ring.
I'm happy to be here today, guys. And we have Traitor-Joe with a really impressive Drain Vitality in the opening hand. Hitting the Drain Vitality is kind of necessary.
Yeah, I'm stifling laughter over here because Drain Vitality may be the best opener you could ask for. Ironically, Shinestorm threw the Halls back.
Not unreasonable. You probably want to chip in as much early damage as possible. Gearwork Spider, kind of an interesting one. Gearwork Spider, most famously in tournament appearances as a part of the Petamax Abomination list, which we unfortunately have not seen anybody play in the top 8 of this tournament.
So, Shinestorm here has a great opener because of Dwarven Dynamo. There is a card that has
huge card.
Has a very high power level that just doesn't see play often because you don't run a lot of neutral cards traditionally. But it is a high power level card.
Can we take a look at Dismantle? Dismantle is a card that I don't even run in my mono neutral lists.
Listen, I really like it for a couple of reasons. It kills mud crabs. It kills spooky mansions.
Yeah, it does do that.
It makes Fervor less divine, right?
It does.
If you're in an assassin list like this and you need some support removal, or again, it's not necessarily a dead card because even in a matchup like this, if somebody's counting on Word Wall or Dark Harvester to get in the way, it can remove them. I think that it's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
If there was ever a meta to play it, this might be it.
Okay.
It kills Parthenax.
That's Charmer with the Devil's Advocate position on Dismantle.
It kills Odaving.
It does do those things.
Hey, next week when Dwemer's all over the ladder, think of all the value Dismantle gives you.
I've been waiting for this moment. I really have been. Look,
I made it through that entire monologue without laughing. I'm so proud of myself.
I'm impressed.
Makes up for all my bad casting this morning.
So, this morning. So, I like just advancing more Dwarven Dynamos here. I really like it. I just want to push 6-8 damage. I want to buff up my Spider Worker, and I want to go to face.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this because even if my opponent does get a Drain Vitality, and now it's
triple
online,
Word Wall.
It means that Spider Worker still survives.
Nothing's going to survive much longer. Traitor-Joe has basically the nuts. Right. Traitor-Joe has Word Wall, Word Wall, Word Wall, Drain Vitality. That's more Word Walls than you even need.
And 2 Uprisings, and a Necromancer, and a Hist Mage. Traitor-Joe...
So confident that he's just playing the Thorn Hist Mage.
I mean, I think that's the right play here. Even if my opponent has an answer and can push damage, I would feel so good about everything else that's in my hand.
Yeah. I mean, you Lightning Bolt and you go face for 10, right?
Maybe. There is some temptation to consider just maybe playing Fleeting Apparition.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not push damage in that scenario. You want to punish them for being a little bit greedy. It's still...
More Drain Vitality. All right.
It's still not going to be enough.
Now, Shinestorm with 2 Lightning Bolts and an Encano left for reach. Because, I mean, there's no way his creatures connect with Traitor-Joe's face for the rest of the game, right?
Well,
there
is the possibility.
I mean, Dismantle does kill Word Wall.
That a Mechanar finds a giant bat.
Oh yeah, Mechanar does top off Shinestorm's list. That would be the memeiest way this ends.
Yeah, we may not just see robots, but we could also see actual abominations. Show up.
A Night to Remember. I keep forgetting stuff like that is in this list.
That,
even with Dismantle on a Word Wall, you're only pushing face for 2 damage. But if you're looking to play to your outs, that puts you within Encano Lightning Bolt lethal range.
Yeah, that has a lot of implications there. I really like a Night to Remember in this list for Shinestorm because if Traitor-Joe didn't have the Great Wall of China set up, a Night to Remember on a Dwarven Dynamo is huge. It's such a powerful play when you're trying to be aggressive.
You know what? It might also not be terrible on Mechanar.
It's also pretty funny on Mechanar. Mechanar might seem like a weird inclusion in a list like this, but Justin and I were talking before the broadcast, and I think it's this list's version of Hallowed Death Priest. You're kind of hoping to, rip somebody's Parthenaks off the top, rip their Odaving so that you don't have to deal with it. A Night to Remember re-triggering that could be a really big deal.
Okay. Choosing not to advance any face damage.
I mean, listen, I kind of like this approach because it allowed me to put multiple creatures back in my hand, and if you think Drain Vitality is coming, that allows you to maybe reload. Now, we know that's probably still not enough, but I like that. I like that play.
You got to play through 2 Drain Vitalities here. And let me make a quick correction. Lightning Bolt, and Encano still lethal. 13, 11, the same.
Yeah, if you draw all your reach right now, you're in an okay spot.
Yeah. There's a bat in the discard pile, but there's no way to... Well, no, I take it back. There is a way to bring it back. There's a Necromancer. Oh, and there's a 3rd Drain Vitality. This is par for the course today, right? These are decks firing on all cylinders. I mean, like, Shinestorm's hand has been great and has done amazing things. Traitor-Joe's hand has been as anti-aggro as you can possibly get.
Yeah, I mean, several times throughout the process of these qualifiers, we've said that if Scout high rolls, right? If it gets its nuts draw, it's basically impossible to lose with this deck.
Yeah.
And this is going to be kind of a showcase in that, right? If Traitor-Joe ends up losing this, it would be a miracle, and it would be one of the best moments of my life in terms of tournament games. If the best deck in the game
loses
when it high rolls, loses to Dwemer, I don't know how I even continue at that point.
Fabricate can produce some massive creatures.
I legitimately might just throw my chair and quit if that were to happen.
Fabricate making a 9-drop with Breakthrough. There's no answer in Traitor-Joe's hand right now. It would let you still play... play here. That's tough to say even. I'm just down for Fabricate for a 9-drop. Now we don't get to see the decisions as they come up. But Fabricate presents 3/3 with lethal. Is that what we saw there? Okay. Not a bad Fabricate. Not the best, but not bad. Maybe can the Dwemer deck just grind through 3 Drain Vitalities at level 3?
You know, earlier we had talked about the decision to not run the Eradicator and instead run the Incubator.
That's true. There's a lot of value to be had there.
It's entirely possible you could just grind this out.
We're about to see a crazy uprising there. Crazy uprising. Territorial Viper the draw, Territorial Viper the discard. Another Ulfric's Uprising. A Thorn Hist Mage.
So again, all of the tools that Scout could ever want.
Yeah. This is, I mean, this is an amazing, amazing series of plays from Traitor-Joe. There's no way around that. I think, yeah, Traitor-Joe's getting frisky. Wants to end this game.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised by that.
Huh.
I mean, you know Reach is in your opponent's repertoire.
Right.
You know a Night to Remember is in the list. You know, as we talked about potential lethal plays, Unkano into a Night to Remember is a pretty dangerous outcome.
Yeah, you kind of just got to shackle some stuff now. And there is Red Brahmin and 2 Uprisings, 2 Drained Vitalities in Joe's hand. Wow. I mean, this is why you play Uprising Scout.
Yeah, I mean,
look at that power. Look at that power.
I have to say this about Shinestorm's deck. Traitor-Joe has had the draw of draws, and I still don't feel like Shine is out of it. And that's a testament to how well this deck is playing, how well he's piloting it.
The minute that Ulfric's Uprising hits Necromancer, which brings back a bat, though, you get out of the range of like possible wins.
Again, I think Shinestorm just needed some different draws for this to go the way that they wanted. I think Camel here is probably the play, and it does come down. You're looking for help.
Steam Constructor, Steam Constructor, Steam Constructor. That's a hard one to say 3 times. Never finding a Halls of the Dwemer 2. Not sure it would have made a difference. I mean, most of the damage that Shinestorm did was before Halls of the Dwemer would have even landed.
Yeah, I mean, it was really early presence, tempo plays, things like that. Crushing Blow, yet more reach available to Shinestorm.
Did you just Crushing Blow the face? You don't have enough Lightning Bolts to win even if you do that. It's challenging.
I mean, I think that the hesitation for something like Crushing Blow face there is that you're telegraphing, right?
Well, there's also just, like I said, not enough Lightning Bolts left.
There's enough Crushing Blows left, though. That's the first one we've seen, right?
Does Crushing Blow have Prophecy? Because you're dead next turn. Traitor-Joe rocking 24 damage. Can Ulfric's Uprising back a bat? Okay.
All right, so the defensive Crushing Blow does come down.
Yeah.
Again, not looking great for Shinestorm, but still probably the right series of plays.
I think that every turn this game continues to go on is actually better for Shinestorm than it is for Traitor-Joe. I think Traitor-Joe needs to end this game.
Traitor-Joe has a lot of ways to do it, and I think that he's going to give her a go.
Fleeting Apparition, Merchant's Camel.
No help. That's going to seal it.
I mean, look, this was the best. I think, without a doubt, the most powerful Scout game we've seen so far. But Shinestorm put up an impressive performance against the, I think, best deck in the tournament.
Yeah, and the good news for Shinestorm is you don't have to play against Scout anymore.
No, and you do get to play the robot deck again.
Right, that was maybe the worst matchup for that deck. So I think you can feel confident, maybe bring that Dwemer deck back. It's had 2 solid showings.
I agree.
Given the draw that Traitor-Joe had, that could have went way worse.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see more of that. I'm excited to see Traitor-Joe rock his other 2 lists, though, because Traitor-Joe has played very different kinds of decks very well every time. I'm eager to see whether he chooses to play the Warrior or the Halalu.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm really eager to see how this Assassin list performs against aggressive decks.
Yeah.
Because I can see where this Dwemer deck can potentially prey on slower control lists.
Yeah.
especially if you combo it with a good like Halls of the Dwemer tempo swing.
Absolutely.
But how it performs against aggressive lists that don't run out of resources, like specifically that Halalu matchup,
right?
I'm very interested in seeing how it performs.
And Shinestorm has some pretty interesting decks as well that I'm excited about, besides the Assassin list. His Tribunal Temple deck is super interesting, and I'd love to see that one played again. And frankly, seeing Joe on Warrior is kind of something I'm looking forward to as well. I mean, it was called Jorier for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, or you know, I call it Traitorous Warrior, right? After Traitor-Joe. Again, kind of like Mid-Warrior has been around for a while.
Yeah.
But like the mid-grow version that was a nightmare on the ladder a few months ago, just before Houses of Morrowind hit.
Yeah.
100% was Traitor-Joe's doing. So
let's hop on into the game. Shinestorm down 1 game, Traitor-Joe up 1 game, and we have Tribunal Temple on with Shinestorm and Warrior on Joe. Joe's got a pretty great hand. No, the only thing Joe probably wants more now is the ring.
Yeah, Joe would have liked the ring. I think Joe would also like a Young Mammoth or something really solid there at the 3 slot, maybe a Withered Hand Cultist.
Young Mammoth.
Outside of that, I think Joe's got to be really happy with this opener.
I agree. A couple of Dawn's Wrath and Marak. Not really where you want to be.
Yeah, it's not great, but this Tree Minder is actually going to, I think, help a lot. It gets you closer to that Dawn's Wrath. With the ring, you're also closer.
You can drop Tel'Vos Magister next turn and just make some trades.
Yeah, or you could even hide the Tel'Vos and say, it's just going to speed bump enough health until I can play my Dawn's Wrath.
And that's fair. That is very fair. You'll have access to 7 Magicka next turn, so you'll need to find something to do. You have a Cast in Time for the first Wood Orc Headhunter or Sower of Revenge that you come upon.
Perhaps we can help one
Shinestorm decides instead, I'm just going to offer my opponent the 3 for 1.
And I think that's entirely legitimate.
Yeah, I agree. 2.5 for 1. Now, Withered Hand Cultist, on the other hand, we've seen that card do serious work today. Looks pretty good against those Dawn's Wrath.
Yeah. If I'm Traitor-Joe, is there a scenario where I consider just crashing my Underworld Vigilante in? Like, I can use the ward on my Windkeep to get rid of the ward on the Tel'Vos.
Yeah,
Vigilante takes it out, and then I save the rest of my board.
I think that's totally reasonable.
You know, it allows me to push 3 damage, gets rid of the ward on the face, gets rid of...
Yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely a reasonable play. Traitor-Joe thinking it through. Probably looking several turns ahead, calculating how much damage these charged creatures can add up for. And when the most opportune time to drop the Withered Hand Cultist is, too.
That's got to be what the decision is here, right? Trying to decide between that and...
Okay, chooses to keep both charged creatures in hand. Firebolt, not an unreasonable draw here. You really don't want to be using Cast in the Time, though.
No, I think this is just going to be pulling 3 damage off the board, passing it over. Steel Scimitar, another source of burst. Traitor-Joe hasn't broken a rune yet, but has a lot of damage available to him, so he can start generating that pressure whenever he wants.
Now, as far as prophecies go, Shinestorm's only rocking Mummify, Lightning Bolt, Javelin.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I really think that if Shinestorm gets an early prophecy, like Rune 1, Rune 2, it might just be enough to tip things.
I agree.
With those Dawn's Wraths, with the Cast into Time, with Marak, he really just needs to survive the first initial burst, and then I think he's got enough to stabilize.
I agree. Yeah, this is a close one. 9 burst damage in hand, potentially as much as 11 burst damage in hand from Traitor-Joe, though. It has to have an Orc on the board for Wood Orc Headhunter to have charge. But Withered Hand Cultist, such a huge player in matchups like this. Like we've said before, probably the most powerful tech card in the game.
All right, so Wood Orc Headhunter comes down. Shinestorm's going to have a decision to make here because Dawn's Wrath doesn't take care of all the damage, but also you gotta maybe consider Cast into Time. Ideally, you want that on Sower, but getting rid of Wood Orc Headhunters is not half bad either.
It's not.
And you're not going to have many opportunities to do that beyond this, right? Typically, they're either used for lethal or they might trade right away. If you do that, though, you're not really doing much else for your turn is the big problem.
No. Not a lot of great Necromancer targets. Or any, actually, now that I think about it. You know, I do love the two different Tribunal control lists we see in the tournament so far. The Uprising version and the Chanter version. Both using either Uprising or Chanter to generate card advantage. The best that those decks can. They seem more teched against Scout and Telvanni.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a safe assumption. All right, so the Dawn's Wrath does come down, pull some damage off the board.
This is an easy Withered Hand Cultist Candlehearth Brawler. Needed a Prophecy there. Because it's not going to be a follow-up Dawn's Wrath. And Traitor-Joe has no reason to put all his creatures in one lane.
No, absolutely not. I think that the Brawler and the Withered Hand will come down on the other side.
Yeah.
That prevents the second Dawn's Wrath. You know, it goes back to exactly what we were saying, right? If Shinestorm hit an early Prophecy, I think he has the tools to pull this through.
Yeah.
Did not hit an early Prophecy. There's just too much damage in Traitor-Joe's hand and too many, quite frankly, disruptive tools as well.
I agree. Candlehearth Brawler or Red Hive Defender. Hive Offender, perhaps?
Perhaps.
There's Tawaka. Shinestorm finally drawing some of those cheap creatures he could have used in the early game. A little too late. Now, Shinestorm's not definitely dead next turn. Necessarily. But probably definitely dead next turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking great. Profiteer into Harpy, I mean, you gain a health, you shackle something, but you're still taking what looks like 9, right? You might buy yourself 1 turn.
Go down to 2. So you have to Bruma and Harpy into the Shadow Lane, shackling the 5/4. And through the power of prayer, hope that Traitor-Joe puts the Underworld Vigilante into the field lane, and whatever they draw. So you can Dawn's Wrath it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not looking...
Not super likely.
It's not looking great for Shinestorm.
No.
If that Prophecy would have ever came, even if it was something like that Harpy, right? Drawing the Harpy as opposed to just getting it for free.
Yeah.
Big difference in terms of the amount of damage you've taken, the ability to use it to trade right away.
Absolutely.
Shinestorm taking time because I think he knows. I think he knows that this.
Yeah.
There's a plan. There's always
all right. So kind of what I was saying. Not great, not ideal, and that's
actually lethal.
That's gonna be it. That's lethal.
Hold on.
So,
a creature
there's
here.
Nowhere they can hide.
A creature. Oh no.
Yeah, no, you're skipping. That was lethal. There, you were skipping. So, Traitor-Joe going up 2-0.
Another quick, impressive showing.
Yeah.
The pace at which our players have been navigating today's tournament has been way faster than previous rounds.
I think a lot of it has to do with we've seen some more like mid-range style lineups, right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to
snowballing.
Board positions get out of hand pretty quickly when you play those kinds of decks.
Absolutely.
First 2 weeks we saw a lot of control that's withered a little bit as the qualifiers have went on.
Withered Hand Cultist did a little.
Yeah, Chewbacca watches over this qualifier series. But the other thing that I think is kind of explaining the speed of these particular series are the people piloting the decks.
These are great players.
You know, Karakanzul, Traitor-Joe, these people,
Shinestorm.
they know exactly how to pilot them. They don't have to spend very long making their decisions. I would dare say they could probably do it in their sleep.
I can't even navigate these decks awake, man. Like that is amazing to hear.
So, Traitor-Joe just has House Lalu left.
Yes.
Shinestorm still has the full lineup left.
Yes.
We've seen reverse sweeps before.
We have.
More often than I would have expected, actually.
Absolutely.
Do you think Shinestorm has the tools to do it? Ultimately, do you think that Assassin deck has enough to beat Halalu?
You know, with the ring, with the right draw, absolutely.
With Dismantle?
Nope, that doesn't figure into my calculations. Nope, I thought about it. I ran the numbers. Nope, not at all.
Dismantle's the only way to kill Manor if they turn 2 with the ring, you know.
It is.
All right, so Traitor-Joe, like we said, has to pilot Hlalu, has a great opening hand. No Ring of Magicka, but does have Skulk, Gambler, Hive Defender. You have to be pretty happy with that.
Absolutely. The Skulk into the Corner Club Gambler in particular is just a super amazing draw. A lot of the times that 1/1 charge is not ideal. And
so,
now you're curving out perfectly.
Shinestorm throws everything back. Hand reasonably improved compared to what they were sitting on, but it always hurts when you see 2 Prophecies into your hand against aggressive decks. You'd much rather get those for free.
Premium Mudcrab Merchant has an increased chance of giving you good cards. I'm going to go ahead and make that bold statement, the bold, completely untrue statement.
All right, well, this has got to be a tough decision. Traitor-Joe's not like windmill slamming his pick on the table here.
Yeah.
Maybe a mud crab that betrays you is what is needed.
It's the choice we always talk about. Ice Storm, Immolating Blast.
I don't think that's any sort of decision at all. Like, you give away Immolating Blast every time there.
It still sucks for you.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you just make one giant mud crab that survives the blast.
Is this how the Loch Ness Monster survived the end of the dinosaurs? It was buffed up. The Red Year happened. I'm mixing stories here. But I just saw the new Jurassic World movie. These cute little velociraptors.
So back to this Legends game we're casting.
So, yeah, Traitor-Joe taking Soul Rest Marshal, giving away Shadowmare.
Yeah, I really like that. Soul Rest Marshal is something that you're going to be able to play and trigger. Like, let's be honest, you're going to have the health lead. The 4/4 body is probably going to be a lot more relevant than the 1/1 charge.
Drawing the Nord Firebrand, great. If you didn't have Pit Line, which we were going to slam, drawing the Nord Firebrand, great because it lets you play Corner Club Gambler effectively.
I mean, Soul Rest Marshal could just be a target for the Gambler as well.
Yeah, that is fair. Shinestorm drawing Merchant's Camel. Now, I actually kind of like Shadowmare, actually. I think both players can make use of Shadowmare. Here, I'm super into Edict of Azura on that Pit Line.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to pull the 5 damage off the board.
Yeah.
You could maybe consider something like Rising of Bones if you wanted to just speed bump it, but that's so inferior in my mind.
I might play Rising of Bones if I had an Ice Storm in hand, and getting 3 damage on that lion was important for some reason.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's Edict on the Pit Lion, and then you got to trade into the Goblin Skull.
Yeah.
That also means that when you play your Iron, you can get that Edict back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Shinestorm having the ring, keeping him in this game right now. You know what that hand looks like from Shinestorm? That looks like a guy who's trying to kill somebody with a Stealer of Secrets.
Alright, so Traitor-Joe just playing a bunch of stats in a nice suit.
Very
he is
dapper.
a very dapper defender. And Shine says, okay, I don't have nearly enough formal wear for this party. I'm going to go visit this merchant who has this cool camel and see if I can find something.
Now, does the crab ride the camel when he's traveling from city to city hawking his wares?
Good question. I don't know.
Can somebody in the lore community get back to us on whether or not that crab rides that camel?
You don't care about the lore community. Don't even pretend. You're still claiming Red Brahmin is an Argonian. Yeah. Don't ask the lore community for anything.
He's an Argonian who started a chain of burger restaurants.
You are dead to the lore community.
No, that can't possibly be true.
All right, so Traitor-Joe here, again, gotta be some sort of tough decision, taking his time on the mud crab.
Yeah.
I like the rest of his hand for future turns, though.
Yeah. Calm. Curse.
Oh.
Wow. This is a broke mud crab merchant. Why would you ever keep Calm if you're Traitor-Joe? Isn't Curse superior?
I think that maybe the reasoning there is that Calm might be more effective if somebody's trying to trade into your Hive Defender. I mean, realistically, for a deck like Tribunal, who doesn't have any other ways to take advantage of like wounding somebody, it might just be.
Well, it turns out to not matter all that much as Calm gets discarded. Shinestorm's sitting on 3 Ice Storms.
Yeah, without much support help, Shinestorm's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. Now, Solarest Marshal into Withered Hand Cultist is going to be pretty good here.
Yeah, Traitor-Joe instead, however, is going to be reminding us how good he is at having the right cards at the right time.
This is an impressive display. You know what, actually? Solarest Marshal. Okay, play Nord Firebrand. Play Solarest Marshal. Play Halalu Oathman. Play Withered Hand Cultist. You dump your whole hand.
Yes.
And that Ice Storm's not getting played for another couple turns because of
the Withered Hand Cultist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't indeed a path here for Traitor-Joe to play everything.
Wow.
Solarest Marshal, for those of you who are newer to the game, there was a time when Solarest Marshal was one of the most powerful cards in the format.
Yeah, it's been the recipient of several balance changes, actually.
Yeah, for everybody who thinks Manticora got a raw deal, Solarest Marshal has been nerfed.
Yeah, I can't even remember how many times. I know it happens in closed beta. I know it happened in open beta.
It happened in open beta twice.
Yeah.
I think the most offensive version was, there was a time when it cost 5.
And discounted by 6.
And discounted by 6. And it allowed people with the ring to go turn 4, like Soul Rest,
yeah.
Triumphant Jarl.
Yeah.
And then next turn you would use Old School Burn and Pillage and just win.
Yeah. So it looks like Traitor-Joe's going to take the play we identified. Has 3 Magicka now to work with. I doubt there's anything better than Withered Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't, unless it was maybe Haunted Manor or something. But even then, I think you slam down that Withered Hand Cultist to prevent Ice Storm.
Oh, man. You know, Shinestorm's still at 19. But this looks brutal.
Is this where this Shadow Mirror maybe starts to make a dent here?
No.
Hear me out. You can remove with the Curse and the Shadow Mirror.
Yeah.
At least the Hive Defender and buy yourself some time.
And
then you could use the ring.
You need to put Emperor's Blade over into the field lane. Or Shadow lane, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could use the ring to play Emperor's Blade. Delays your Ice Storm again, but you're likely trying to use Emperor's Blade to kill Withered Hand anyway, so you're not trying to ring and play Ice Storm at 8. You want to get rid of the Withered Hand.
Yeah. That's not unreasonable. Marked Man is going to stop up Shinestorm's attempts to swing into the Withered Hand Cultist. Man, Shinestorm. It's got to be... you have to feel so nervous right now. You're down 2 games. You've made it to the semifinals. You are so close to the top 2. And yet so far away because Traitor-Joe is just dominating this series of games so far.
Yeah, Traitor-Joe's bringing the heat. There's no question.
Yeah.
There's a reason that, we've cited Traitor-Joe's name on more than one occasion so far throughout.
Well, it looks like the first play is it. Followed up by the Emperor's Blade into the Shadow Lane.
So I almost look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a Heron makeup team and stuff. They improve, your ability to do that.
I'm my own hair and makeup team.
Yeah.
I don't improve my ability to do anything, in case you haven't noticed.
Well, you don't look good either, so it kind of works out.
Yeah, well, I set the bar low.
All right, so Traitor-Joe picks up Rift Thane. Not a huge deal. Marked Man and the little target thing that it brings with it is exactly what the big deal is here, because it's going to keep the Withered Hand Cultist on the board for another turn. I mean, Rift Thane's a big deal in that it's going to kill Shinestorm, but it's not a big deal as far as its impact on the board.
Yeah, I don't think it keeps it on the board for another turn. You're likely going to get something useful back with your Iron. With the discount, we'll hopefully be able to play it. No, maybe not. I mean, it won't even have enough to play Edict, so... No. Yeah, you can protect the Withered Hand for a turn.
Odinaire and Necromancer. What kind of targets does that have? There is a Harpy.
Harpy actually seems like a pretty fantastic...
Yeah. And Emperor's Blade is going to gain life. It's going to gain 3 life when it eats that Marked Man guy. And then Shinestorm survives long enough to play another Ice Storm.
Wait, did you hear that?
It's going to be
a really big deal.
This is still a live game. Like, don't get us wrong. But I understand Shinestorm slowing down the pace of his play dramatically because these are the decisions that are going to make or break this match.
I will push them back.
Alright, Rift coming down. The draw is Barrowstalker. If you had 8 Magicka, that'd be cool, although you just Ice Storm. You have to Necromancer Harpy.
Yeah, Necromancer Harpy is the only thing that keeps you alive, and even then, you're praying that Traitor-Joe doesn't top deck something.
Well, you're going to go to 15. Because the Emperor's Blade is going to slay the target. Slay the makeshift defenses.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can go to 15, and you can shackle, say, Soul-Rest Marshal. I mean, you have to shackle one of the things that swings for 4.
Yeah.
So whether it's Soul-Rest or Rifthane, either way, you're stopping 4 damage.
I'm kind of into shackling the Rifthane.
The only reason I was saying potentially Soul-Rest Marshal is assuming that I place my Necromancer in the field lane. That's the only one that trades into my Necromancer and survives. And I would want to at least feign, like, hey, I might Uprising. You should get rid of this.
That's fair. I guess I wanted to present Joe with the opportunity to put the damage on the Soul-Rest Marshal himself. You know what I mean? I don't want Rifthane swinging at my Harpy. I don't want Rifthane swinging at my Necromancer.
Rise, my
I want to put damage on that Marshal. Oh, snap!
Yeah. I mean, it's also acceptable, but I guess I just have the faith that Traitor-Joe's not going to do that.
Man, some of the games that a lot of the games I win, I win because I just hope my opponent makes bad plays.
Traitor-Joe has a really interesting decision to make with the Stormcloak Vanguard. Because
do you kill off?
If you don't kill off that Emperor's Blade, you're gonna lose that side of the board anyway, and you're gonna give up 3 health.
And you want your Stormcloak Vanguard to die, actually, because you want to put something on the board that survives the storm.
I mean, it feels really bad to make that play, right? But yeah, I think this is proper identification by Traitor-Joe on what you want to do.
Yeah.
This goes into the Shadow Lane. All right, so Shinestorm has the opportunity to stabilize here. He can trade into the Soul-Rest, Ice Storm, and drop a Barrowstalker in front of the 5/5 to, you know, potentially trade by some time.
And then you have 10 cards in your hand.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say that Joe can't cobble together a lethal series of draws. Shinestorm with no way to gain life right now, besides that Barrowstalker, which you kind of have to drop, so you don't die to, you know what,
Cliff Racer. Dawnbreaker.
Racer, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of essential. Oh my god.
All right, so I think instead we're just going to see...
Wow. Shinestorm wants another card.
No, I think he's still going to drop the Barrowstalker. It's just the difference between a Barrowstalker blocking a 5/5 and a Barrowstalker blocking a 4/4.
Wow.
So it's an interesting line, just because the Ice Storm would have allowed you to save the other resources.
Yeah. Sir and Pawnbroker, not exciting.
The only other thing I can think of is that maybe Shinestorm wanted to draw some of those actions off of Iron more than an Ice Storm, and playing another Ice Storm into the discard pile would increase the chances that that's what comes back.
That is fair. Wow.
Maybe Shinestorm just didn't want to overdraw.
Shinestorm marking the Earthbone title, by the way. I've heard that was your name in college.
Yeah, that's correct. I was part of the Captain Planet team. I was the Earthbone guy. I heard you were the Heartbone guy.
Heart!
And then somebody killed your monkey.
They killed my monkey. Alright, so Sir and Pawnbroker, not exciting. Shinestorm sitting on a wealth of options.
you know, Traitor-Joe is not above concede efficiency.
That's true. That is true.
We might actually see,
No move we can't anticipate.
depending on how the rest of this turn plays out and what Traitor-Joe draws, we might just see him say, all right, I've had enough, let's go on to the next game, because...
Save yourself the mental anguish.
There's just a lot of resources available to Shinestorm, and if Traitor-Joe has a subpar draw...
Right. No, that makes sense.
I mean, you're up 2-0.
Yeah. You just got to win one with this Halalu deck if you're Joe. Firebolt. She doesn't want Shadowmare. Wow.
The disrespect.
Rising of the Bones might trigger the concede.
It's interesting because if you would have kept the Shadowmere, you could have just charged it into that creature.
Yeah.
But maybe he just didn't want to have to draw Shadowmere later.
That's fair.
Right? It could have actually be a dead draw, potentially.
Cool Fire Boon.
I mean, it's not horrible.
Yeah.
You got a 50-50 shot of getting rid of the guard you want to get rid of. You still get to get your 5/5 and play it.
Yeah.
And you'll land it. Wow.
Do you...
That could end up being really...
Solter. Do you cast in the time before you iron? Because I think at this point you want single target removal.
I mean, you could do that. I also wouldn't be shocked if we saw something like, you know, Ice Storm, Harpy on the 5/5 so you can trade into it next turn. I mean, you have another Ice Storm and an Iron to maybe get one back.
Yeah. So looking at Shinestorm's list, Shinestorm is running 3 Tribunal Oathman. For a life gain, I have something very real to keep in mind. Okay, plays Iron first.
May the ancestors bless us.
Gets back, this is huge, a second cast in the time. Wow. I assume you just cast in the time the 5/5. Maybe not, maybe you Harpy it.
Yeah, I think in either scenario you were probably playing Harpy on the 5/5. I think that's why I was kind of into, you know, maybe Ice Storming. I know you're using an Ice Storm to save yourself 2 health, but at this stage, the 2 health feels relatively important.
Here comes Chanter of Akatosh.
That's a pretty big pickup for Shinestorm.
Time to do some quick checking of the numbers. A cast in the time at 4 will pull a Merchant's Camel or a Tribunal Oathman. Tribunal Oathman, you go up to 11, that might seal the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's got to be one of the potential routes.
Could also bring in Emperor's Blade, Archcannon Sarioni. Archcannon Sarioni actually not something you want to hit with Chanter, right?
No, I think it absolutely is, because you haven't swung with your Iron yet. You can go ahead and give it the drain and guard.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's anything other than maybe Merchant's Camel that's a bad pull from that Chanter.
Nope, just gonna Ice Storm. Hollow Death Priest, because he knows that Joe's holding on to something, thinks it might be a plot card, it's 5th Legion Trainer, or Clan Captain. Shriveled Mummy. Not playing the Orc Clan Captain, Mummify the draw. Traitor-Joe is playing this as perfectly as you can from this position.
Yeah, he's just hoping for some reach, and there's plenty of it in Halalu, so this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, you don't remove the mummy.
I have to assume we're going to see, you know, again, you really don't want to cast into time a 2/2 mummy.
No.
But the upside of potentially...
Yeah, Oathman, Emperor's Blade, Sarioni, all totally reasonable. Everything but the Merchant's Camel you want to hit.
I mean, the other route is, you do have that Soul Tear.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something that you want to fetch. I think that's all the more
2-cost
reason.
things are Harpy, Profiteer, Stalker. All good as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, right? Maybe there's something you want to get back, and then you'll get...
There's another Barrow Stalker.
Of the living. I smell the
Stench of the living. Smelled. I don't think Pit Line's great here.
I mean, it's not, because you have to play the clan captain into the shadow lane, which means you don't get rid of either Barrow Stalker this turn.
This is huge.
That might have been the deadest draw that Traitor-Joe could have found.
Killing it here.
My fight
and
is
Traitor-Joe recognizes it.
Wow. So Shinestorm not out of it yet. Now still down, but win 1-2 against Traitor-Joe after 2 really impressive performances by Traitor-Joe. And I think that it's fair to say that was still a really impressive performance by Traitor-Joe as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Just not quite getting there at the end.
Yeah.
Against a deck that seems brutal for the Hlaalu.
I mean, Joe did the best he could with the draws he had.
I agree.
That's what happens when you run into somebody who has all 3 of their Ice Storms that
absolutely,
early.
Absolutely.
You know, a top deck, a little bit more reach, it goes a different way. If he finds another Withered Hand Cultist sooner, it goes a different way.
Totally agree.
But congratulations to Shinestorm.
Absolutely.
You avoid the sweep.
Continuing to demonstrate how you made it this far. We need to see 2 more games like that from Shinestorm if Shinestorm wants to make the top 2. And Joe just needs to win 1 of the next 2 with that House Hlaalu list. We kind of saw, I mean, I don't know, it's tough to say because that was a pretty good draw for the House Hlaalu deck. The only thing you could have asked for is what, the ring?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Traitor-Joe would have liked maybe a Manor, something like that.
Absolutely.
But, the good news is for Traitor-Joe, you don't have to worry about that control deck.
Right.
Now you've got either Dwemer to deal with or
the
Warrior. So, which matchup, if you're Shinestorm, which matchup do you think is now your best one against Hlaalu? What do you bring?
I think it's got to be mid-Warrior, aggro Warrior, mid-grow Warrior, ironically, Joe Warrior.
Right?
I think you bring that. Because, you know, the thing that Hlaalu struggles the most with traditionally is more aggressive decks because Hlaalu really kind of struggles to play from behind sometimes.
Yeah, and this is the more aggressive of the Hlaalu lists. Sometimes
Absolutely.
they can be a little bit more mid-rangey, more resilient.
Yeah.
This one's all gas. So it looks like Shinestorm has taken your advice.
Sweet.
Has brought Warrior. Traitor-Joe, as we know, is stuck on this Hlaalu list for the rest of the series.
All right, so Shinestorm has the ring. That's huge. Shinestorm does not have any 2-drops, however.
However, Traitor-Joe...
I stand corrected.
Traitor-Joe has a Manor and has a raiding party. So the early tempo from Joe won't be great.
No.
But post-Manor might have all of the tools needed to catch back up. This is going to be an interesting game.
Can Shinestorm deal enough damage fast enough to not lose to the eventually stronger resources that Joe is going to be regularly putting out? That is a tough one. That is a really tough one. I like Shinestorm's hand a lot. I like Warrior with the ring. I like my fantasy of seeing robots again.
I really like this play by Joe. It lets you contest the Barrow Stalker.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Right now, though, Shinestorm is just connecting damage.
Yeah, I mean, Shinestorm knows exactly what needs to be done. It's just like you said. You can race Hlaalu.
Yeah.
Again, Joe, however, not a lot of tempo early, but has that Oathman, has that raiding party.
Yeah, that's huge.
Going to have all of the tools.
Just decides I'm gonna play from 2 turns behind because I have that much faith in the Divine Fervor, the raiding party.
Wow, Shinestorm has a really good hand as well, though. All the powerful 3-drops that you think about in Warrior are on display. More Mammoths, more Hunting Spirits.
This, though, this is going to be Oathman into Raiding Party, or potentially even Oathman into Hive Defender, if he correctly puts Shinestorm on not having a silence.
Yeah, Oathman into Hive Defender I like as a much stronger play here.
Looking at Shinestorm's deck, just the 3 Earthbound Spinners. Not even the Hlaalu Sharpshooter for silence effects.
Yeah, I like the upside of playing Defender as opposed to just pulling off 2 damage. Because if you play the raiding party here, you're only getting rid of that Barrow Stalker.
Yeah.
It looks like Traitor-Joe comes to the same conclusion. The downside is that Haunting Spirit, and now that Orc Clan Captain available as well, means that you're probably only going to eat like 2 creatures here, but...
So do you swing Mammoth, play Captain, swing Spirit, to ensure the buff hits either Captain or you hope? No. Well, that can't be ideal.
No, I think I liked the path that you were considering because it would have meant keeping your buffed Haunting Spirit results on the board.
That feels like Shinestorm might have made a mistake right there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree. You get almost the same result, but you push more damage and have a stronger board presence.
Right,
you go the
have
other
a Barrow
route.
Stalker that doesn't die in combat to Halalu Oathman. And we know that Traitor-Joe's hand is completely insane.
Yeah. But that's all the more reason why I think Shinestorm needed all the extra help, right? Because right now, this raiding party means you kind of lose your entire board.
Yeah, you clear. With this Legion Trainer, you clear.
It's time to act.
The other way around might have went a little bit different. Shinestorm's not out of this, though. Mammoth, still a big creature. Underworld Vigilante, a lot of reach. Shinestorm still has Sowers in the list.
Yeah, I mean, there's no answer to Mammoth right now in Shinestorm's hand. I'm sorry, in Traitor-Joe's hand. Now there is. I mean, a temporary fix. Minimizing the damage you take.
Yeah, Traitor-Joe's list doesn't run any of the more defensive tools, right? There's no Giant Bat. You're not gaining health back with a Monk Strike or anything. This is the full gas aggro version. So every time Shinestorm lands damage, it sticks, it counts. Yep. That's why I again mention Shinestorm has all of the Sowers left in the deck.
Yeah.
Has that Vigilante in hand. It just needs to push a little bit more. Might be able to bring this home.
I suspect we're about to see Earthbone Spinner hit a makeshift defenses.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what Shinestorm draws, obviously, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Even more so because that makeshift defenses is probably what's going to get the buff from this manner.
All day.
The real question is, do you develop a bunch of more creatures, or do you just do Marked Man, Defenses, and Divine Fervor to set up for the future?
That's a good question. I kind of like Marked Man, Shadow, Makeshift Defenses Field, Circle Initiate Field, or Pit Line.
And then Pit Line, yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. Wow, not playing the Makeshift Defenses.
Yeah, that...
Relentless Raider.
That is somebody who...
Wow.
Doesn't care about their life total.
Takes the trade. I don't think I ever do that.
That feels a bit like a mistake to me, especially because Relentless Raider could have got a trigger if you'd have went face. That 5th Legion Trainer, you're already worried about the manor buffing stuff up.
Yeah.
One more on everything.
Yeah, I would have been happy to go face.
Yeah, you're in a face race if you're Shinestorm, and making your creatures more resilient, I don't think matters as much.
I totally agree. My health is a resource if I'm Shinestorm. I'm looking at it look, I got 4 turns before I can die.
I have no
3 or 4 turns. I'm just going to push as much damage as humanly possible.
So he's going to get at least 1 trigger from the Raider, but again, I personally feel like
could have had him
2.
at 8. Cliff Racer, the pickup. Makeshift Defense is going to come down in the field. I'm sorry, the Shadow Lane. Can get Earthbone Spinner to get Traitor-Joe down to 9, but I don't know where you're getting the rest of that damage from then.
Yeah, I also, personally, I would have liked the placement of the Vigilante in the field lane. Giving that Vigilante up to a Marked Man doesn't feel as good as making him use some of those other resources.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you're just trying to go runner, charge creatures.
Care to make a friendly wager?
Shift Defenses comes down. What's the draw? Shadow Shift. And the draw for Shinestorm. Earthbone Spinner. Well, now you definitely don't feel bad about silencing that thing.
Absolutely not. You're going to blow up that makeshift defenses, swing for 2, but again, can't help but think this should be putting Traitor-Joe down to 6 instead of 9.
Yeah. No guards in Traitor-Joe's hand.
Which might matter, because if the top deck is more reach of some kind, 6 is a lot more palatable.
There's not one card though that can do 6 damage in this list.
No, not one, but there's a lot of ways to do 5 or 4.
Right. That was close. Shinestorm does have a couple turns to assemble charge creatures. Shadow Shift play. Gonna go ahead and move.
Yeah, it is actually worth pointing out. you know, 6 is more palatable because Shinestorm's list does run a little bit more charge than your traditional warrior. It is running 3 Battle Rage Orcs. It's running the Arms Masters.
Yeah.
Being able to do like 2 and then 4 is a lot more reasonable.
Hive Defender is huge here.
Yeah, Hive Defender is going to be a really big play. Shinestorm thankfully has that Earthbone Spinner though.
Yeah. Grabs Goblin Skulk. Okay. This would have been lethal.
Well, not enough Magicka here, but it would have been certainly a lot closer.
Yeah.
I do think this is the right play, though. I think you still Earthbone, swing in, and then you're just hoping that you top deck something to pair with the Vigilante.
What are you looking at? You're not running any items in this list. You'll have 9 Magicka, so any of your charge creatures.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think Traitor-Joe is going to win.
Yeah. I agree, there's no prophecies in this list.
There is only Morkel Gatekeeper as far as defensive prophecies.
Not enough.
And it's not going to be
wow,
enough.
There we go. Traitor-Joe, congratulations, making it to our top 2 today. Wow.
There are a lot of happy people. First,
Traitor-Joe's got a lot of fans out there.
Congratulations, Traitor-Joe.
Yes. Wow.
We get to see Karakhan Zul and Traitor-Joe, who showed up multiple times in our top 8s, battle it out in the finals.
Yes.
Also, people who are happy.
Yeah.
People waiting to get in on points.
Absolutely. The 2 players who had some of the most points are guaranteed spots. So this changes things for a lot of people who have been nervously watching this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, interestingly enough, Shinestorm still gets to play for a spot.
Yes, Shinestorm versus Kassedin will be playing for their 3rd place spot.
Yeah, that'll be our next series, and that's really important as well because Shinestorm, even if he loses, should have enough points that he'll squeak in.
Absolutely.
But if he wins, he sends Kassedin home. Kassedin is essentially playing for a spot in Texas.
Right.
You win, you're in. You lose, you do not come across the pond.
Fair enough. So, our next match, Shinestorm Kassedin, going to be a huge one, going to be a big one. One of these players is definitely going to QuakeCon. One of them
might not.
Might not. Stay tuned for that. And if you have something you want to say about what we have going on, use the hashtag TESL Masters. We'd love to see more. I've already gotten some robot photos. I checked the Twitter feed a couple about an hour ago, to be fair. Let us know who you're rooting for in our finals, who you're rooting for in our top 3, our battle for the 3rd place spot.
Yeah, stick around. We'll be right back with Shinestorm and Kassedin.